Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. No bug out bag or survival kit is complete without a ruggedized military tactical USB flash drive. This is the Corsair Survivor Stealth. Stay tuned. Okay, here's the deal. We all have important documents, whether it be maybe inventory of all your stuff. It could be your guns and serial numbers. It could be your passwords. It could be financial documents. Whatever they may be, you should have backups of them. Now, one flaw you might have in that system is that backup might be on a network drive in your home, or it could be maybe on a USB hard drive or something like that. And if your house gets hit by some sort of natural disaster, which is the most likely out of all the scenarios, you could lose your data. Now, hopefully, you could put it in the cloud, but a lot of people are very hesitant to put very sensitive information, financial records and things like that, in the cloud. So the next best thing is put it on a USB thumb drive. But the problem is that most USB thumb drives, such as this is one of my favorite little SanDisk guys, cannot stand up to an enormous amount of abuse. Now, I've heard that these things, have gone through quite a bit, but still, they are not ruggedized, they are not tactical, they cannot get run over by a car. They probably will not survive too long underwater. So, Corsair, excuse me, I'm really geeking out today. Corsair has come up with this, and this is the Flash Survivor. This is the Stealth series, which means they just make it all black. And this is their latest iteration of their Survivor series, because this has been out for years and years and years. Now, the Stealth series comes in 16 gigs, 32 gigs, 64 gigs, and as you go into the higher capacities, you also get faster transfer rates. Now, this is USB 3. It is backward compatible to USB 2 if you have a older machine. So, let's take a look. By the way, 5-year warranty on the back. It is most likely not made in the United States. It's electronic. It's made in Taiwan. They do advertise here that it's made of lightweight aluminum, and it is waterproof up to 200 meters below the surface, so it can go underwater, which is pretty neat. And that's all they really claim, besides it being shockproof to 1500 Gs. Now, I already had this out of the package, and I've already played with it a little bit. Because, I like to really do a review. So let's come on in and take a closer look. So I went ahead and purchased the 32 gig capacity. Again, they have the 16 gig and the 64 gig. The 32 gig cost about $39. I got it on Newegg at newegg.com. So, this thing is tough. They actually, even though they don't advertise this in the official media, I'm going to make a little noise here, sorry. They don't actually advertise it, but there are videos of this thing getting run over by a car, and it has no problem. But here's what it looks like. You can see it doesn't come with a key ring, but you could put this on a key ring right in there. And it has these rubber pieces right here to help absorb shock. And there you go. Now, this really does have an amazing transfer rate. This particular model right here, the 32 gig, has a 80 megabit, it could be megabyte, I don't know, per second. The 16 gig has 70 megabytes a second, and the 64 gig has a 85 megabyte per second, and that's the maximum sequential read speed. But you could go online and look at the specs on these. It really comes down to your machine and its capability too, and your motherboard, or if you have a USB or a PCI board, and there's so many different factors as far as speed is concerned, but rest assured, this does have a very fast transfer rate. At least it has in my tests. So here's how you get at the USB drive. Whoop, there it is. Now you can see besides all the dirt that's already on it, because I've carried this around and actually used it, you can see it has a rubber gasket there, which is what makes it waterproof. And it has a little light there, so when it's doing its read write, it does its little flashy thing there. And this part right here, and of course now it doesn't want to focus. There we go. It has metal wrapped around here, thin piece of metal wrapped around the plastic with the electronics. And you can also see here that it's blue in the USB part here. That blue indicates that it's USB 3. See, like a regular USB 2, that's what, it's either that or black or something like that. But USB 3 is blue. So anyway, you just stick this in your USB port and it works like any other USB thumb drive. And then when you're done, you disconnect it, pull it out, and put it back in its waterproof case to 200 meters underwater. And there are videos of people putting this underwater. There are videos of people boiling this in water, believe it or not. Again, they don't advertise that it's capable of doing that, but there are videos where people have done that. It really is pretty amazing. Now, there are some shortcomings to this whole deal. Number one is it costs a couple dollars more than your average USB drive because you're paying for all this extra material. Number two, it does not come with any encryption software. This really sucks because quite a few of the USB thumb drives, including like the SanDisks and things like that, come with some sort of encryption software. Now, it's not the greatest. Like, I think the SanDisk only comes with 128-bit encryption, AES encryption, which is what I like to use. But you could get around that because there are some open source solutions that are free and they're available cross-platform, any type of operating system used, whether it be Linux, Mac, Windows. And that solution that I recommend to you is TrueCrypt. TrueCrypt. You got it? I'll put a link below so you can check it out. But I use TrueCrypt to create a partition on here where I put all the sensitive stuff, so it makes it a little bit harder to get to. You could even hide that partition so they won't even know what they're looking for. You could take the partition, which is made up of a file, and then rename it something, so it's sort of, just makes it like you're not hiding anything there in the first place and people ignore it. Whatever. But there's a workaround. You can use the free open source solution. Now, someone said that they broke 258 AES encryption. Well, that's life. That's all there is. So we got to move on to the next one. But I heard that someone strung together a whole bunch of GPUs and were able to crack military grade encryption rather quickly. What are you going to do? It'll keep most people out of it. Now, the next downside to this thing is how big and chunky it is when you're trying to plug it into your computer. If you have one of those ultra thins, when you stick this in here, it might be like getting forced up in the port because it's so big. So you might have to buy yourself a long USB, like a little extender cable, and plug that in. This did not come with it, by the way. I just happen to have this just because of things like that. So if you have like a very thin laptop with a USB port is like almost on the table that it's sitting on, you're going to have a problem because this is so big right here. It's going to try to bend. So there are your downsides to this. Everything that's good has, I can find something that's sort of bad about it. So how do I rate this? I rate this a 9 out of 10 because there's nothing else really on the market like it at the price and the quality and the speed. I really highly recommend that you make this part of your bug out bag just to keep your data safe in the event of an emergency. I mean, even if it was in your house, some bad weather came through. Most weather involves water, and this thing ends up underwater for a while. You could come back, and you could be assured that your data was safe as long as it was closed up properly. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I would have gave it a 10 out of 10 if it had some sort of encryption software already given to you and maybe a little extender cable there for people who have those ultra thin laptops. So I hope you all had a happy holiday. Did you? Awesome. I got I'll tell you what, we'll deviate from the review now and just have a little bit of fun. Because I know I haven't been around, and I don't know if you'd miss me or not. I miss you guys. But I got a couple of really cool gifts, and I'll probably do some reviews coming up soon. But my wife got me some really cool toys. One is this safety checked unloaded pistol crossbow. You know, you can get these for $15-$20. They're not very expensive, but they're fun. So I can't wait to get out there and shoot some targets out in the backyard and try my hand at some crossbow shooting. And she also got me a slightly bigger crossbow, just in case I like the little one. She got me this like 150 pound. It's not a compound bow or anything fancy, because I don't know if I'm going to really get into crossbow stuff or not. So she's sort of testing the waters with me. She wants to see if I enjoy this, and you know, this is by no means a toy, but it's probably around $100 price range. You could, I think she probably got it on sale for like $79. My wife is great with deals, just like me, and I'm gonna go ahead and play with this. It did get some good reviews. This string, lack of a better term, because I don't know much about crossbows yet, was a mother to get on. Let me tell you, I know there are tricks to getting these things on, but this was hard. But I can't wait to get out there and play with these. Even though you don't play with these type of things in a sense of like a toy, so I don't want to encourage anyone to do anything unsafe. So anyway, those are just some of the cool little gifts. My wife knows what I like. She got me all kinds of great toys. So again, I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you, and I missed you guys. And we're coming up on New Year's really quick, and I think that's when my next video is, on New Year's Day, Tuesday. Is that correct? I think so. So I will see you next year. Take care.